In today's video, you will be getting ready with me while I do a photo shoot for my photography business, and we will be talking about all the companions in Doctor Who. All right, so like I said in the introduction, like I said before, this video is going to be kind of a get ready with me. The photo shoot that I'm doing is not nerd related, so that's why I won't post the pictures on the channel. But I wanted to create this video and I wanted to put another video out there. I've been thinking about it for a while, and I was debating on if I wanted to do the video solo or if I wanted to do the video just by myself. So with rewatching Doctor Who, of course, I got reintroduced to all the companions. Well, I say rewatching New Who. I didn't rewatch Old Who. When I originally started the series with Doctor Who, I did start from the first Doctor. They had the original Doctor Who on Netflix back in 2013 when I started. So me being the person I am, I like to watch stuff in sequence. So I was watching the original Doctor. I watched like all the episodes that was available from the original Doctor Who series. And then I watched the movie that came out in 96. And then I jumped into New Who, which is started in 2005 with Christopher Eccleston as the 9th Doctor. But in today's video, I kind of want to just go over like the Doctor and their companions and like my opinions on the companions. Companions that I feel like was overrated. Companions that I felt like, I wouldn't say overstayed their welcome, but I will say companions that I just felt like they should have just been there. They should have been there like for maybe a season, and then they should have left. Companions that do not get enough love, and I have a couple of them. And just companions that I felt like, I would have loved to see more of. So, in this case, we're going to start off, of course, we'll start off with New Who, because that's where majority of you guys have watched. You guys have watched New Who, so we'll start off with that. So with New Who, the first episode is called Rose. So as you know, we get introduced to the 9th Doctor's companion, which is Rose Tyler. My opinions on Rose. Okay, when I first watched the Doctor, I really don't know how I could categorize how I feel about Rose. It's like I like Rose because I felt like Rose would do anything for the Doctor. So while I did like Rose, I felt like Rose. Okay, well, I just leave it like that. I liked Rose. I will say that I did like Rose, but I just felt like when 9 was the Doctor, she looked at him more as a friend. She looked at him more as a friend, or I'll say a father figure. I'll just say a friend. She looked at him more as a friend. She didn't really look at him in that romantic type of way. And that's when I liked her. Now when she was with 9, I loved her. Like, I loved Rose. I felt like Rose was the perfect companion because it was nothing that she wouldn't do for the Doctor, and I loved that. Now when she ended up becoming the companion for 10, I felt like she let her feelings get in the way of a lot of stuff that she was doing and a lot of the decisions that she made. I felt like she was jealous. She was like borderline obsessed with 10. And it was like, I understand, she fell in love with him. She felt, she loved him. But what really made me not care for her, I have a love and hate relationship with Rose. And it was because of how she acted when he regenerated to the 10th Doctor. It's like she kind of just, granted, she was there when he regenerated. She was there for him to get him out his slum, to get him out of that depression and that anger for when he, he just came out the Time War when he was when he was the 9th Doctor. So I get that, she brought him up from what was, what he was going through. That's definitely not a problem. But it's just with 10, when he became 10, it just seemed like she was selfish. Like, okay, prime example, because I know you're probably like, how was she selfish with the Doctor? Okay, so prime example. We'll use when she, okay, so the episode, I forgot the episode, but it was the episode when they went to the school and she ended up running across Sarah Jane. And, 10 was like, oh, he was like Sarah Jane Smith. And, you get introduced to Sarah Jane Smith. For those who don't know, Sarah Jane Smith was a doctor to the companion. She was the companion to the 3rd and the 4th Doctor, if I'm not mistaken. So she was kind of like how Clara was before there was Clara, or how like Rose was before there was Rose. She was the original that was a companion to like 2 different doctors, I think, if I remember correctly. But I think she was the 3rd and the 4th Doctor's companion. I know she was the 4th Doctor's companion, but I believe she was the 3rd Doctor's companion as well. But anyway, so, she's at the school and she ends up coming across Sarah Jane, and she's, kind of upset, or she feels some type of way because the Doctor is paying attention to Sarah Jane, that she starts kind of like this pissing contest with Sarah Jane. And I don't know. It just seemed like she felt like she was the only one. Like, she was the only one that traveled with the Doctor. And I'm like, no, honey, he regenerated, technically 9 times before he even met you. And I was like, because you have to count the War Doctor. I always count the War Doctor as a regeneration. So technically 9 is 10. 10 is 11. 11 is 12. 12 is 13. And 13 is 14. But what the hell? Oh, but that's neither here nor there. So anyways, so she just kind of had like a pissing contest with Sarah Jane. Like, she was the only one that was his companion, or he was the only one, she was the only one that he cared for. And I'm like, no, sweetie, like, he had other companions. Like, you need to chill. And I just felt like her willing to sacrifice everything for the Doctor is not what got me. It was more of her jealousy streak as to what got me. She just felt like he was hers and hers alone. And I didn't care. I didn't like that at all. As far as other companions besides Rose, so there you have it. For the 9th and the 10th companion, you had Rose. Now, you also had side companions, like you had Mickey Smith, you had Captain Jack Harkness. So, everybody should already know, I love Captain Jack. Like, Captain Jack does no wrong to me at all. Like, I love Captain Jack. I loved him as 9 and 10's companion. Like, when he first, I just loved him. I loved him as a companion. Like, he was just... But I like John Barrowman anyway. Like, I just feel like, 1, he's incredibly hot. And 2, he is Captain Jack Harkness. Like, I don't even call him John Barrowman. I just call him Captain Jack Harkness. And then I love that he loves Doctor Who. And then, of course, he goes on and does Torchwood. But he's just the ultimate, like, Doctor. He's the ultimate Whovian. So I'm pretty sure that's how I would have been too if I would have came up in a Doctor Who episode. So, Captain Jack Harkness, thumbs up. I love him. He does no wrong. I don't need to go on a spill. Mickey Smith. It's like, I understand, and trust me, I'm going to fix my eyebrows. Like, I know they look like, yikes. I know they look crazy, but I'm going to fix them. But anyways, with Mickey Smith, I believe that I actually I had not a love and hate relationship with Mickey. I'm more sympathized with Mickey, because even when Rose was with the ninth doctor, it's like at first everything was all good between her and Mickey. Well, with Mickey and Rose. And then it's like she just kind of got up and just decided, okay, I'm going to go travel with this guy that just popped up in the phone box. And I mean, the police box. And, you know, it's like, screw you. Like, I'm just going to leave. So it's like I seen where Mickey was coming from. I understood his resentment, as you would say, towards the doctor. At the beginning, Mickey was, I wouldn't say annoying. I would just say that he was really hurt, and he was in such competition with the doctor, because he was so, like, I'm just going to put it out there. He was like insanely obsessed with Rose, that, you know, he just felt like he had to do whatever. And it's like, he was just so, I don't know. He had character development. He really did. Because when you get first introduced to Mickey, he was really like annoying. And then he ends up becoming, to me, he ends up becoming like one of my favorite companions from 9 and 10. That's just me. So you have Mickey Smith, and, you know, he's doing this. So that's pretty much for 9 companions. When it came to 9, those companions, I would give Rose Tyler with 9. I would give her a thumbs up. I would say that I really liked her. I loved her dedication to the doctor. I loved how, you know, even like she was there for the doctor. I loved how she helped the doctor realize that, you know, he's not all bad like he thought he was, and, you know, helped him kind of get out of that depressive state and let him know, you know, kind of reeled him in, because the doctor is still, you have to remember, he's just coming off the Time War. So he's still kind of, you know, in a haze, or he's still really angry. He just lost everybody. So he, you know, Rose kind of showed him the brighter side to things. So we'll go with that. Rose kind of showed him the brighter side to things. Now we go to 10. So we know the 10th Doctor. We already know that he travels again with Mickey Smith. We know that he travels with Rose Tyler. We know he travels with Captain Jack Harkness. But 10 has his own other companions as well. So after world ends or whatever, and Rose get trapped in a parallel universe, he ends up traveling with, well, he travels with her twice, kind of. He travels with Donna. He does an adventure with Donna, and then he drops Donna off, and he asks Donna to travel with him. She say no. And then you get Martha Jones. So 10's companions is like Martha Jones and Donna Noble. Those are his two. So we'll just start with Martha Jones. To me, Martha Jones gets so much hate, and I hate it. Like, I legit hate that she gets so much hate, because Martha Jones to me was a damn good companion. And I'm sorry for the language, but she was. Martha Jones was a damn good companion. I'm sorry, I had to get something to drink, y'all. So we go to Martha, and I don't know why she gets so much hate. I guess because she came kind of like after Rose Tyler, and by Rose doing like so amazing as a companion, a lot of people give her hate, which is not fair. But you come across, oh my god, I cannot talk today. you come across Martha. So Martha's in med school. She meets the doctor. The Jadoon comes and they, take over the hospital. They looking for the plasmavore, all that other stuff. He recognizes the potential in Martha. He takes Martha on adventures. But the doctor, to me, Martha Jones, did not get as much as the respect that she needed. For one, when the doctor got Martha, he took her the same exact places where he took Rose. Yes, they were in different times, so you can try to argue, oh, but they was in different times. Yes, they were in different times. But the thing is, he still took Rose exactly. I mean, not Rose. Jesus, he took Martha exactly where he took Rose. And she ends up realizing that he's taking her the exact same places where he took Rose. And I didn't like how she pretty much did the same exact thing that Rose did as far as sacrificing a lot for the doctor. And she got like hella flack for it. So, of course, she was in love with the doctor. But Martha sacrificed a lot for the doctor. She put med school on hold for the doctor. Her family didn't want her traveling nowhere near with the doctor. She did it anyway. I just feel like Martha gets a lot. She gets like a lot of flack that she really does not deserve at all. Let's just go with off the stuff she did for the doctor alone. She walked the earth for the doctor. She put herself, a woman of color, she allowed herself to go to 1913 Britain. Now, mind you, it was still black people of color or African Americans was still looked at as, it was still prejudice. Even across the pond, it was still a bunch of prejudice people, and she put herself at risk and put herself in a very compromising position to help the doctor. And I don't think she gets enough love, and I don't think she gets enough credit for that. Because she did not have to do that. She could have blatantly told the doctor, like, look, I'm black. You want me to go to 1913 and basically degrade myself while I'm in med school and have people talk down to me and experience racism at its height during this time in 1913, the early 1900s, or the early 1900s. And you want me to do this? She could have clearly told the doctor no. But she cared and she loved the doctor so much. And she was so willing to help the doctor that she didn't care. She did it. Which says a lot for Martha, in my opinion. That's just me. Also, she walked the earth for the doctor. Oh, I almost put lash glue on my eyelids, Lord. But she walked the earth for the doctor. And she did not have to walk the earth for the doctor at all, but she did. And that's another thing as well that I feel like she gets nearly no type of recognition for, is her walking the earth for the doctor. And she's also, it's just, Martha Jones just did a lot. I'm not going to keep prattling on about Martha, but I just don't understand what's so much of the hype. I've heard people say, oh, she really didn't do anything. Oh, she was in love with the doctor. Okay, but Rose was in love with the doctor. So it's like, what's the point? Rose was in love with the doctor, and people still loved her. And I particularly didn't care for how the doctor kind of always compared her to Rose. It's like, if you look at the episode, even when they went to the end of the earth and you get reintroduced to the master, Captain Jack Harkness, like, the first thing he says is, "Oh, where's Rose?" And he was like, "I seen her name on the list of the dead." And he was like, "Oh no, Rose fine. She's, in the parallel universe. She's with her mom and Mickey and all them. Like, they're good." And she's just looking like, "Yeah, good old Rose." And I felt for her. Like, I really did. I felt like she got compared to Rose a lot, and nobody needs that. And she was legitimately constantly compared to Rose. So that was Martha. That's a companion that I once again, I really do love. I just feel like that she got the short end of the stick from the fandom as well as from the writers. I just feel like, the fandom, I feel like, compared her to Rose, and it's like she was a good companion in her own right. And I felt like the writers probably intentionally made her get compared to Rose. And I just feel like Martha does not deserve half of the flack that she got. Plus, I believe she was the first African-American companion. And that did something for me, because I definitely wanted to be a companion after I seen that. I was like, oh yeah, like, if Martha can be a companion, so can I. And I definitely wanted to be a companion. So, like, that just gave me hope, to see somebody on the screen traveling with one of my favorite TV shows, to see somebody look like me travel with the Doctor. So I greatly appreciated that. Like, I loved it. The next companion is Donna Noble. Everybody I know that have watched the show loves Donna. I mean, I absolutely adore Donna, because even though Donna seemed a little bit brash and she seemed, a little bit cheeky at times, Donna was just a person that just wanted to be loved, wanted to be, Donna was just awesome. Like, I honestly cannot even just, I really can't put into words just how awesome Donna is. Donna is flipping awesome. And also with Donna, she's one of the sadder stories that I've seen she's one of the first saddest stories that I've seen with the Doctor and his companions. Like, it was just, like, oh man, like, Donna's story was, like, extremely sad, and just, she was an amazing companion. She was there to reel the Doctor in. Like, whenever the Doctor got upset, or whenever the Doctor was going, like, way overboard, she was always there to, like, reel the Doctor in and tell the Doctor, like, no, you need to calm down, you need to do this. And yeah, she was very cheeky, she was very sassy, but she made it known, like, hey, I'm just as important as he is. Like, it's not all about him, and I'm just as important as he is. And I loved it. And just her whole storyline was just amazing. Like, Dr. Donna, right to this day, like, even with me rewatching Doctor Who for, like, the 1,000th time, just when I always get to her, and I get to where she has to get her mind wiped, I legit sob. Like, it's not even funny. I legit cried, and I still cry to this day when Donna Noble gets her mind wiped. Like, she was just freaking amazing. And Catherine Tate is just amazing. Like, I just absolutely loved her. I loved her cheekiness. I just loved everything about her. I just thought she was absolutely amazing. And there would never be another Donna Noble, like, for a companion. Like, I don't care. You just, I got all the way over here and didn't get lashes. I get all the way over here and didn't get lashes. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I went all the way over there, didn't get lashes. But, you know, like I was saying, like, Donna is just freaking amazing. So, that was pretty much, I'm trying to think. I think that's pretty much it when it comes to the companions. As far as for the doctor, let's see. Yeah, for the 10th Doctor, that was it. That was pretty much all his companions for the 10th Doctor. Now, we can start on, well, you could say Sarah Jane Smith, but I'm not really going to go with Sarah Jane Smith because Sarah Jane was more of the older Who's companion, and we're not really going to go into that. While she did have adventures with the 10th Doctor, she was more of the old school companions. So we'll just leave it at that. Now, we get to the 11th Doctor. I know I'm going to fix that eyebrow. I know it's looking like hella crazy right now. But, so we get to the 11th Doctor. And the first face that 11 see is Amelia Pond. So, the main companions that the 11th Doctor had was Amy and Rory. And then you can count River. So we'll say River. And then he also had Amy, Rory, River, and Clara. And yeah, we'll say Clara. So let's start with Amy and Rory, which is personally my favorite companions from the 11th Doctor. I loved Amy. I loved Amy and Rory. I loved them both. I think I loved them so much because I loved how they loved each other. Like, the way that Rory loved Amy and the way that Amy loved Rory was just uncanny. Like, I was here for it. And their romance, their love for each other. I like how Amy basically looked at the Doctor as like her best friend. She didn't look at him in like a romantic point of view or anything. She looked at him as, okay, this is my best friend. And, you know, it was her Raggedy Man. So with them, I feel like the Doctor really truly embraced having a family when he came across Amy and Rory. Oh my god, guys, it was like so hot with this light on. Like, oh Jesus, I'm gonna have to put this on low because I don't know if you can hear it. Okay, so just with Amy and Roy, I just felt like he was actually able to have like a family figure that he was missing. And I just thought that it was like extremely good for him. I thought Amy and Rory were perfect. I mean, do I feel like they kind of extended their stay a little? Not kind of, but not really. I feel like for the storyline as to where their arc went, that it was, that's what needed to be done. Like, their story had to be told with season, when did they come in? Season 6? No, season 5 and season 6. I feel like that their story arc had to be stretched over 2 seasons. The story arc with, River coming into play, like being their daughter and everything. Like, when rewatching it, I liked it, but I'm not gonna lie, when I first originally watched it, I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. I was like, I need to put more purple up there. I was like, I don't know. I was like, them in this story arc, I was like, you kind of lost me. I was like, I'm not sure how I feel about that. But then again, you know, I'm not a creative writer, so I couldn't really say too much, but I did like it. So with River, I adore River. I love how, like, I just adore River. It's really not much I could say about River. Honestly, I mean, we all know the story of River Song, how she's a child of the TARDIS. She got taken by the Silence to try to kill the Doctor, but you know, he ended up marrying her and all that other good stuff, and she ends up becoming the Doctor's wife, and then she's ends up, you know, falling in love with the Doctor and all this other good stuff like that. So we also with River, she's so mysterious, and I just like River. So with River, Amy, and Rory, we would give them thumbs up as far as companions and like my thoughts on them. I know it seems like I'm kind of rambling, but to be honest, I'm trying to do this makeup look and I'm trying to make sure it looks okay. And then I'm also in the process of talking to you guys as well, so I'm losing like train of thought, so I definitely apologize, but I just really wanted to get another video out. Okay, so we did Amy and Rory, we did Amy and Rory, we did River. So let's go on to Clara. And the reason I even started to make this video was because I was watching Doctor Who and I just got on the 12th Doctor, which is Peter Capaldi. And I was just thinking about Clara, and like she just kind of pissed me off. So I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm just gonna make the video now, and then I'm thinking about it. So all right. So with Clara is definitely one of those companions I feel like overstayed her whole welcome. I feel like after her arc, after we found out who Clara really was as being the impossible girl, because on was it the night of the Doctor? When they went to Trenzalore and she threw herself in the Doctor's time stream, and then she gets scattered all over his time stream, and she was like, she was always there and she was the impossible girl, because she was meant to save the Doctor. After that, and after Day of the Doctor, and after, I'll say, the Christmas special, when Matt Smith regenerated, her story arc should have been done. I'm sorry. I mean, I really didn't care for her with Capaldi at all, because I felt like her with Capaldi, in the regeneration episode Deep Breath with Capaldi, she was just still kind of hung up on, oh, he's not my doctor, he's not this, is not that. It's like, child, he regenerated, he trusts you, and he showed his true self, and you know, like, he showed he didn't feel like he had to hide or be young or do anything like that anymore for you to want to be with, you know, to be traveling with him. And it's like you kind of just shot him down because of you felt like of the way that he looked. Like, you felt like he looked old, you felt like he wasn't your doctor. So I was a little annoyed with that, and I just felt like Clara really overstayed her welcome. Like, watching it, trying to figure out who she was, and you know, why the Doctor kept running into her, was, you know, I enjoyed it for that time. I enjoyed Clara when she was with Matt Smith, who was the 11th Doctor, but I was just over her. When it came time for Capaldi's Doctor, I hate to say it, but I was legit over her. Like, I was over it. I was like, okay, new companion me, please. Like, I am over it. So that's how I felt about Clara. And then that whole thing where her and God, I can't think of the other. She was Arya Stark from Game of Thrones, and she was in there. But with her and Arya being like off in a whole nother TARDIS, and like they're immortal now, and I was just like, okay, I'm over it. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, okay, I'm over it. Like, what is this? Like, no, like she was already the impossible girl, but she was throwing herself when she threw herself in the timeline so that she'll always be there to help the Doctor. I was like, and now we're just gonna make her like immortal, and we're just gonna let her just go off in the TARDIS and do their own stuff. Forgot where I was at. Do their own stuff. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. So that's my thing on Clara. When it comes to the 12th Doctor, the 12th Doctor had Clara. He had Bill. Who was his other companion? Did he have another? I think he regenerated not that long after he lost Bill. I believe he regenerated. Oh, wow. Like, I legit cannot remember. So, yeah, I think he had, sorry, my little daughter texted me and was asking me for an apple. You can have your sister fix you a sandwich and y'all can have an apple. So, yeah. But Bill was another, I'm just going to stop at Bill because I actually have to rewatch. I didn't watch any of 13's companions. I watched episodes up into Rosa, and then I stopped, and that's why I started binge watching so that I can get on track and I can just watch. But right now I am on Capaldi's like first season, so I'm on season 8, I believe that was Capaldi's. No, I'm on season 9. I legit have no indication as to what season I'm on. But I'm on the season where Capaldi just got there. I'm on the second episode where he was telling them not to blow up like lasagna when he was supposed to go inside the Dalek. So, but when I do remember Bill, because I remember I was pissed when I watched Bill. When I watched the episode with Bill being the new companion, I was excited because I was like, okay, good, we have another person of color that's gonna travel with the Doctor. So I was like, freaking amazing. But what kind of agitated me, or what pissed me off, was I feel like she wasn't there long enough. The send off that they gave Bill was freaking horrendous. I hated it. They turned her into a freaking Cyberman like they did Danny Pink. I forgot. How could I forget Danny Pink? And I'm on the episode where Clara meets Danny Pink. They did the same thing to Danny Pink, where Danny Pink became a Cyberman. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, why is he a Cyberman? Like, why did y'all why did he become a Cyberman? And they did the same thing with Bill, where Bill became like a Cyberman. I was just like, oh, come on. I was like, why is she a Cyberman? Like, I wanted to see more adventures with Bill. I loved Bill and the Doctor together. I loved them together. I felt like she was right for him. I felt like she was like a younger Donna, where, she had that sass and that energy there, and she put the Doctor in her place. She wasn't trying to date the Doctor because Bill, as we all know, was a lesbian. And I mean, I just felt like, well, I don't want to say lesbian. I'm personally bisexual, so I don't really know. I don't want to offend anybody, so I don't want to say homosexual. I don't want to say gay. I don't know. We just knew that Bill liked girls. I just put it that way. Bill liked girls. So we knew that Bill liked girls and all that other good stuff. But I wanted to see more adventures with Bill. That was just me personally. From what I did see with the 13th Doctor, which is Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, I seen the older Caucasian man, the black boy, and I think they had a woman with them too. But I just know the older Caucasian man, which was the black guy's like step grandfather or whatever. I did like them as companions. I feel like that from what I seen, I put it that way. From what I seen, in the Rosa episode, I just used that one. I know, I just felt like that, it brought them closer together. The grandpa and the dad, and the son. I feel like, the grandson. I just feel like it brought them closer together from what I seen. So that's pretty much it on my thoughts about the companions, my thoughts on, who I felt like got most love, who I felt like didn't get love. Who I felt like was just annoying at times, and who just needed to just shoo. So just to give a recap, Rose Tyler with the 9th Doctor, loved her. With the 10th Doctor, hated her. So I had a love-hate relationship with Rose. With Mickey Smith, I feel like Mickey Smith did not get as much I feel like Mickey Smith was done dirty by Rose, but he ended up redeeming himself, and he ended up getting with Martha Jones, and they ended up, getting married. And then fun movie, in fact, they are actually married in real life, and I did not know that. Yeah, true story. So anyways, Mickey Smith was very underappreciated. I felt like he was not appreciated enough by Rose. And Captain Jack Harkness for 9 and 10, of course, Captain Jack does no wrong at all. Martha Jones, highly underappreciated. I feel like that she did not get her due justice, and she sacrificed a lot to travel with the Doctor and put herself in immediate danger to travel with the Doctor, and helped. Martha Jones is the one who walked the earth to talk about the Doctor. So yeah, I also feel Donna Noble is, out of the companions I've seen so far, is one of the saddest stories with Donna. The Doctor boosted up Donna's confidence and showed her that she is an amazing person. And speaking on myself as being part of the fandom, Donna Noble will always be the greatest companion out of New Who. And I will argue that. Period. She was the best companion. No ifs, ands, or buts. Period. For 11, Amy and Rory, loved them. I felt like some people say that they feel like the Ponds overstayed their welcome. I do not. I feel like that he kept running back to Amy and Rory because Amy and Rory was consistent for him. He considered Amy and Rory family. So of course he kept going back because he considered them family, and he loved them very deeply. He was hurt in The Angel Takes Manhattan when Rory got zipped back into time, and Amy, as we all know, would not do anything without Rory, and she went back in time with him. He was absolutely torn out to pieces over Amy and Rory. River Song, once again, like, she's one of the greats. She wasn't really a companion. She was more just there, but I kind of classify her as a companion. Because she did travel with them. So, once again, that's a thumbs up for me. I love River. I liked her story arc within the series about her, how like their timelines are like polar opposites. Like, when she's coming, he's going, and when he's going, she's coming. So I kind of like that. Then we get to 12th we get to Clara with the 11th and the 12th Doctor. With Clara, I feel like Clara really overstayed her welcome with her traveling with the Doctor for so many. I think she did it for like 2.5 seasons, or maybe, yeah, I think it was 2.5 seasons that she traveled with the Doctor. And I was just kind of, at that point, I was just over it. Like, I was done. After the Impossible Girl story arc, and after the Day of the Doctor story arc, I felt like, and after the Christmas Town story arc, when he was about to regenerate, I feel like she should have just been there for the regeneration episode, and she kind of should have just, just left. They could have said that she was just really hurt by, him not really being able to chance to say goodbye, or something. I just felt like she overstayed her welcome. Like, I was tired. By the time mid-season of 12's first season, like midway through that season, I was over Clara. Like, I was ready for her. I was done. I was like, okay, new companion me, please. So Clara, I feel like she was a good companion. She was there for the doctor. She did help the doctor. But she was one of those characters that like overstayed her welcome, and now she's immortal, and she's in the TARDIS, in another TARDIS with Arya Stark flying off some freaking where, I don't know. Bill, I believe Bill did not get her due justice. I feel like Bill's time with the doctor was extremely too short. Same with Danny Pink. I just feel like the two people of color that you had on Who, well, two of the three people that you had on Who, you turned them into Cybermen. And the other one, even though she did travel with the doctor, even though she did become a doctor, even though she did become part of UNIT, and she did get her somewhat happy ending, I just feel like the fandom does not give her enough love. So that's just me. But as far as Bill, I would have loved to see Bill travel with the 12th Doctor a little bit more. I would have loved to see Bill on more adventures. I feel like if you was going to get rid of Bill, it should have been another way. Bill deserved more than being turned into a Cyberman, but that's just my opinion. With the companions of the 12th Doctor, the 13th Doctor, excuse me, the granddad and the grandson, from what I remember seeing, they were good. I feel like I have to watch more, so once I watch more, I might do a follow-up video, or I might just kind of leave this as is and whatever. But from what I seen, I did like them as companions. I did feel like that them traveling with the doctor made their relationship better, did bring them closer. So that would be it for the video. Once again, I do apologize if I know this video is kind of long. I do apologize if it seemed like I was just kind of like prattling on, or if I was just blah 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 blah, if I was just like blah 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 blah. I was trying to do the makeup. I just LLC'd and trademarked my photography business. So I'm trying to take pictures to put on my website, to show off my editing skills. And I just wanted, I was just doing a basic look. So it's not really, I'm not a makeup person at all. So like, I don't do makeup at all. Like, I cannot. I just look on YouTube and I, see what other people do, and then I try, or I just get in the mirror and I'll be like, okay, well, I wonder if I could do this. And then like, I just get in the mirror and I try to recreate, what I see. But that's about it. There's nothing more, nothing less. Like, I'm not a professional makeup artist. I just play in makeup and try to, do what I can. So until next time, guys, I will talk to you guys later. Like I said, I know I'm gonna fall behind on my upload schedules, but with school and COVID going on and my kids doing, homeschool, when I tell you that things have been like extremely hectic. Like, it's not even funny. Oh, there's too much. Like, it's not even funny. I'll just like, oh my goodness. And I'm just trying to, make sure that I stay on top of everything. This is senior year for me. So I'm just trying to make sure that I am doing my best and getting all my schoolwork and making sure my kids are staying on top of their schoolwork and that they're doing everything. So yeah, that is about it. So Geeksters, I am about to go ahead and head out, and I will see you guys later. Bye.